What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm here with Clark and X. As always, guys, the dust has settled for 300. It's in the past. We got the next pay per view coming up this Saturday in Brazil, UFC 301. Obviously, a lot of people are kind of shitting on the card. It does have some good fights, but obviously, compared to 300, 299, 298, it pales in comparison, but that's okay, guys. We're still going to break the card down for you. It should be a good one, especially for us hardcore fans. Where do you guys want to start on this card?
We can start Paul Craig, the Paul Craig fight.
Oh yeah, we'll just cover the main card. Let's start with the Paul Craig fight. Who's he fighting? Caio Borralho. Um, in my opinion, it's like the odds speak for themselves. I don't think Paul Craig really has a chance in this fight. What about you guys?
I feel like Paul Craig has the chance that he always has, which is like on the ground. Um Barillo, he has submissions in his past, like I'm looking at it. He did sub I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, but the Alexi dude. Um so I mean I guess he has subs, but like Paul Craig's guard is as dangerous as anyone, I feel like. You see what he did to Jamal Hill's arm and shit, like so I feel like he always has like a random shot and a scramble, but I would think that the odds are pretty accurate.
Clark?
Yeah, I mean, I think Paul Craig has zero chance of this fight. Even through submission.
He subbed Ankalaev though.
I mean, that's true, but everything I've seen out of Ohio is just explosive takedowns, just very top heavy, good control. I don't think Paul Craig will be able to sum him as good as he is. There's levels to this, and I think Ohio is just a step ahead and just younger, so I think it makes it easier for him. On the feet, I mean, it might not even Ohio might just keep it on the feet, and he would win that too. Um, Not a great striker, but better than Mr. Paul Craig, I assume. So I don't know. I give Paul
Hard to
Craig,
be better than Paul Craig at
yeah,
striking.
I don't give Paul much of a chance. Maybe he catches him out of nowhere with a sub, but I mean, who did he just beat? He just beat out Boost, beat him in decision. He beat Ola pretty decent. I mean, he has good wins on here, honestly. Petrosian, he beat an undefeated dude from Russia. I, I mean, I think he will get by Paul Craig. I don't think he'll have much issue.
I agree.
He has literally has a tattoo on his arms that says "Fight or Die." It's crazy. That's a great opener, though. Let's move up the card. Ihor Potiera versus Michael Pereira. This should be a banger. Xavier, why don't you start us off with this one? Who are you taking?
Uh I'm gonna go ahead with my boy Pereira. I feel like his middleweight resurgence has been like kind of special. Early in his career, he was like known to like fuck around a lot and just like sometimes would gas out, sometimes would just lose fights just trying to be entertaining. But I feel like he looks very strong at middleweight. I feel like the weight cut was probably diminishing him to a decent amount. And I think that he's looking a little different in the middleweight division, a lot more healthy, a lot stronger, and a lot more power. Plus that coupled with the fact that he like tightened up his game and fights a lot more technical now. Doesn't just go. I feel like he was just trying to build his name more so early in his career. Excite the fans. But I feel like now he's focused on winning, and I think that he's gonna get past Ehor.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I think Patera, I don't know how to say it, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he's pretty decent actually, even though I don't know if he has a winning record in the UFC, but uh I think he has a lot of grit. He definitely goes for it in his fights. He'll try to wrestle sometimes, but not the best fight IQ, I'd say sometimes in there. But I do feel like Pereira, ever since he's moved to middleweight, has looked very good, explosive, and I mean he's been a ring guy for a while now. He moves well.
He's
He'll
also on a 7-fight win streak.
Yeah, I mean he's been on a big win streak for a while now as well. Has fought better comp, I would honestly say, than Pretoria as well. I think he should get it done. I think he finishes him probably second round, maybe third.
I could see
Yeah, I
that.
think the Brazilians are going to go 2-0 here. I think Pereira, I like the move up. He's a pretty big dude. And I think his skills transfer perfectly. It gives a lot of these guys at 185 issues. Like Xavier just said, he is on a 7-fight win streak. Who was his last loss, guys? It's a very interesting name. I totally forgot. But like, do you guys remember who his last loss was?
Ooh, who Michigan?
Diego Sanchez,
Oh,
which is kind of crazy to think.
That man is
damn.
savage. That man is savage though.
Shout out to Sanchez. Yeah, shout out to Diego. You a pioneer. Also, guys, starting this video, we are gonna start keeping track of our picks. See, like, just for fun, what we go on the night. But so far, we all agree, so it doesn't really matter. All right, I feel like maybe we might disagree a little on this one. I don't know. We got Vitor Pinheiro versus Anthony Smith. Clark, why don't you start us off with this one? This is an interesting one.
This one's actually,
It's a good fight.
as I was looking at this main card, I feel like a lot of these are kind of obvious, but this one's interesting because at least for the betting streets, as a betting man, Petrino is on minus 550 currently. I do not like that, honestly, at all. I mean, I can see why he's the favorite, younger. Um,
Smith hasn't looked great recently.
Not at all.
yeah,
Not by
he,
any stretch.
he hasn't looked good recently. I think he did just beat Ryan Spann, which, I mean, after this weekend, I don't know how much that it to put
That
in.
doesn't say much.
Not aging well.
So I don't know. I feel like Petrino has been winning a lot of his fights through the wrestling, and I don't know if he could out wrestle Anthony Smith though. I don't know. Kind of a weird one on the feet. I feel like they're pretty close. I'd say Petrino has the edge a little bit just because of the power at this point. It is a 3-round fight. I'm slightly leaning Anthony Smith just because of experience at this point. And I don't think Petrino has fought anyone, at least at Anthony Smith's level at this point. So I think he'll do enough to bang out 2 rounds, but not confident in this one at all. I can see it kind of going either way.
Yeah, this is a really tough one to predict. Like you said, Clark, it's like I want to trust Smith here, and I'm going to. I'm also going to pick Smith, but it's very like I'm looking at his resume right now. The past couple of years, it's been really like not great for him. Like he clearly has passed his peak. He's tucked in some really tough losses. I like the kicks of Vitor. He's dangerous, but yeah, he just hasn't really fought anyone. He is undefeated. Anthony Smith has like 50 fights. Xavier, who are you leaning towards?
I know I'm gonna bet on Anthony Smith, but I will not say that that's who I'm gonna predict will win the fight, solely based on the fact that like Anthony Smith has shown me nothing of late that he can do anything in there. To be honest with you, it's way more of a I'm betting against Smith than like I believe in Petrino, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I just have seen nothing from the man. Like he was one solid, like really solid, went on a good streak, but I will bet on him because I feel like those odds are crazy. But Like, yeah, not very much at all. Not confident at all in him.
I feel like I personally do this a lot where like, and this is not a good strategy for betting guys, but like sometimes I bet on the guy that this guy needs a win. Like Anthony Smith needs a win. He's the featured fight on a pay-per-view, like Xavier just said. We haven't really seen much from him. He beat Ryan Spann twice and Jimmy Crute, like, and he's getting demolished by like Walker and Rackage. This is do or die for Smith. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt to win a 29-28 decision over Vitor, but I could totally see him getting demolished.
I feel like one thing that works in his favor is the fact that Petrino is way more likely to try to like wrestle fuck him. I feel like a lot of the losses that he takes are just because like people crack him like on the feet really, and then he kind of like wilts in there. But I can see him giving with his experience Petrino some trouble on the takedowns and maybe outpacing him late, out like experiencing him.
Also, yeah, that's a good point. You brought up the takedowns. Anthony Smith absolutely has to wrestle in this fight. His last fight against Roundtree, he didn't wrestle, and we saw what happened. He got lit up, demolished. I just need some high IQ Anthony Smith here. I need some retro 2018 Anthony Smith here. All right, guys, let's move up the card to our co-main event. We got Jonathan Martinez versus the King of Rio as returned, Jose Aldo. Before we get into the fight, what are your guys' thoughts on Aldo coming out of retirement? His last fight was in August of 2022 against Marab, which he looked good. He lost, but he didn't get like destroyed or anything. What do you guys think about him coming out of retirement?
I think that he can. I think that it's a winnable fight for him. I also think that I'm not 100% sure like what he's gonna look like. I mean, it doesn't seem like the biggest layoff, like 2 years, but like, once a fighter starts to age and takes that much time off, you never really know if he's gonna come back like himself. I do think if he does come back himself, he probably wins this fight. Um, in my opinion, even though Martinez has good boxing, but I think that Aldo has like those body shots. I can see like him giving Martinez some trouble if he's like 90% of like old Aldo. So that's my prediction, I guess, that he's gonna be refreshed after these years off.
Yeah, I mean, Aldo coming back should be interesting. I don't know how he's gonna look. I expect a little slower to be honest and everything, but it's an interesting comeback, especially going or no wait, he was at bantamweight, but trying to do it at bantamweight too, pretty tough division. But I'm always down to see some of these legends come back and give it their best shot. But don't be like Cruz. Like, I don't even know. Like, I didn't even know this man was still fighting. I thought he was on the commentary team by now. But I guess he's still in there. He
It's
somehow
like it's like he doesn't fight enough to like lose his ranking, Like for these up and coming guys to like knock him down, honestly.
I mean, if he hasn't fought since like Cheeto though. That was like so long ago now. But yeah, I mean, looking at the fight though, I do feel like Martinez is in his groove right now. And I feel like the kicking game will be the most important factor in this fight. Both of them have very good low and high kicks. But I do feel like if Martinez keeps doing his thing with the calf kicks, he should find success in this fight. I feel like that's Martinez's biggest weapon, just pound the calf kicks. And I think if he does that, which I think he will be able to just because of the speed and the age, and Aldo probably just kind of being out of it the last few years, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aldo won, but I'm leaning Martinez, just the youth. I've been really high on him as well in his last few.
Yeah, his performance against what's his name, Yanez was really impressive. I think I'm going to lean Aldo here. First of all, he has to come back like in normal form, which is a gamble. But I think it's a good matchup for Aldo. Like you just said, Clark. Martinez's game is like it's kicking, leg kicks, and I just think Aldo's like kind of a nightmare matchup for someone that like that who does just as many leg kicks. He knows how to check them. I think while Martinez is throwing his leg kicks, Aldo's going to counter upstairs with some punches. I think he's a much better boxer. I think he's a better grappler, and I do think he's a better kicker. But it just really comes down to, like you said, the youth. Is he going to be the same coming back? Because Aldo's still pretty young. He's like 35, I think. He's just been fighting forever. And this just has like 29, 28 Aldo written all over it. Like, even if Martinez low-key won the fight, those Rio judges, they want their king back. I got Aldo by decision.
Wait, you think he's the better wrestler?
I do.
Interesting. I think Martinez could actually use the wrestling against Aldo in this.
I don't think there will be a lot of wrestling, but
yeah, like I expect Martinez to use the wrestling more than I think Aldo's gonna want to like stay on the feet in this.
I don't think that there's gonna be. I don't anticipate there being much wrestling unless like Martinez starts to get pieced up a little bit. I don't really see Aldo needing takedowns here, but like I think he can grapple with him like if he like needs to, I guess.
Okay. I think it'll be a close fight either way.
No, I agree. Martinez
and for
definitely.
the people, oh, sorry, go ahead, X.
I said Martinez definitely tough. I also agree with him.
For the people that don't know, the original opponent for Aldo was supposed to be Dominic Cruz, but he got injured. Not really a surprising thing there. That man's made of glass. It's kind of sad he hasn't fought in so long. But that would have been a cool fight because like people wanted to see that in the past a lot. They're obviously way past their prime, but that would have been a fun one.
So I see Aldo is 37 now. Like, how old is Cruz?
He's 37?
Because he's 37.
Oh, shit. I didn't know he was that old.
But like, I feel like Cruz is like 43 or something. Like,
Let me look at Cruz's age.
I swear he's like
He's definitely up there, like 41 at least.
39, yeah.
39. Wow.
I didn't know they were that old.
It actually shocked me. No, the 39 shocked me. I thought he was at least 40.
I'm not gonna
Who would
lie.
you guys have taken in that fight?
I'm not gonna. I mean,
Oh.
Aldo, but like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm all for like legends coming back to fight other legends more so. Like, I like that fight. I mean, not like this one was obviously more competitive, 100%. But I think that like I would have minded. Like, let's say like worst case scenario, Aldo just gets sparked in this fight because he's old, type shit. Like, it wouldn't be the strangest thing, right? Um. I think that I will look back at it and be like, damn, I wish it was Cruz in there so they could have just had an old man fight. You know what I mean? I'm way more for that than like these legends coming back against these up and coming killers and getting sparked.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel you on that. But
Like,
I didn't even know Cruz like was still a fighter. I thought he might pick up and retire at this point. Like he just sits there on the sideline in the commentary box.
I would say he might, unless Faber wants to come out for one more type shit.
All right, guys. Let's move into our flyweight championship main event. We got the defending champ Alexander Pantoja versus Steve Erzik. I believe he's ranked number 10 or 11 in the rankings.
He's 10.
This fight's been getting a lot of flack. Before we get into the X's and O's, what do you think about Erzik getting the shot?
Oh no, wait, like why is he getting the shot? Let me look at the rankings real quick. Like what's
I think because like other people are booked or injured. I'm assuming they wanted to get Pantoja on this card.
Yeah, I think Amir Albazi is hurt or Ramadan, something of that nature. I don't know why he's not, because he would be the one to fight here, but
or give Cape the shot. I know it's been a minute since he's fought, but damn, like
Kate was supposed to fight just this last weekend, but he pulled out of injury.
give Makayev the shot, honestly, over Usyk personally, but
who did Erzik just knock out?
It was Matt Schnell.
I think if that knockout doesn't happen, he doesn't get this shot. Like that was a really highlight KO. I think that really put him in this position. I think most people only really know him from that moment.
100%.
But guys, I hate to burst everyone's bubble here, but One second, my camera's tweaking. Yeah, I hate to burst everyone's bubble, but like I just feel like Pantoja just kind of mops the floor with him on the ground, especially. Usyk does have some nice combinations, but like, who else is he really finishing? Just look at the level of competition between the two. And you think Pantoja is going to lose in Brazil in the main event? He is way too much of a dog for that. He's fought way harder competition. Usyk's a great fighter, but I think this is just an easy one. It's a showcase fight.
Yeah, kind of. I think it's just a case of too much too soon, like a lot too much too soon. Pantoja maybe in like 2 years if he starts to slow down a little bit. He is like 35, but as long as he shows up looking like 90% of what we've seen against the Morenos and in his past fights, I think he does like ragdoll Steve Erceg on the ground. I feel like he could knock him out as well, probably. I haven't seen Erceg's chin but I don't think that he can eat 5 rounds of Pantoja bombs. So
Yeah, I mean this fight's pretty interesting. It was made out of left field. I don't know what Dana's thinking with this one, but I think Pandoja just wins. I feel like there's just no chance this man's gonna lose his title in Brazil against the number 10 guy right now. I just don't see it. But I will say this.
I also did say no way that Sean Strickland beats Izzy. So you know what I'm saying? He does have a shot, I will say, but
Strickland
not.
was like he was like more to the top five. He was like closer. He wasn't like number 10.
This would be a huge upset, though. This would be huge.
It would be huge. But man, I don't see how Pantoja just doesn't like out wrestle him, does his thing. And but my thing is, if this gets to the later rounds, Pantoja does gas a little bit. And unlike Royval, Mr. Pillow Hands himself, Usyk could definitely crack. And I feel like he could catch him late in this fight, but I mean, I don't even know if he has the cardio for 5. He hasn't, had any main event yet or whatsoever. I think the spot's just kind of a little too big for him. Uh, Should be an interesting fight for as long as it lasts. Because Ursay definitely no scrub on the ground, but obviously against the level of Pantoja, I think Pantoja will do his thing down there.
For me,
Probably
it's the
sub.
physicality. Like the physicality, I feel like he's just probably way stronger in there on the
Yeah,
ground.
like, who's Usyk's best opponent that he's faced?
Uh, well, whoever match now. Yeah, match now. He
Yeah, it's
almost
just one.
he almost lost that Costa dude who's fighting on this card. And he had to like chain him against the fence in the third round to win that.
Yeah, but he's good, right? Is he a shoot the box dude?
Ooh, Costa? I don't think so. Well, I don't think Costa is, no.
Mm.
I think he trains with like Lopez, more to that team.
Mm.
Yeah, we just don't know enough about Usyk. This is one of the, at least in my time of watching the UFC, one of the more bizarre title shots given. It wasn't even like it. I don't know. It's confusing to me. I don't want to hate on it too much, but let's assume all goes as planned. Pantoja gets the dub. Everyone in the flyweight division is healthy. Who do you want to see him fight next?
Hmm. Probably Amir Albazi, I'd say. This
Yeah,
I think the wrestling would be interesting, even though I probably think Pantoja just beats him there, but I can see Albazi giving him bigger problems than most.
for sure.
I would probably say like who do I want? Like I feel like Albazi probably deserves the next shot more than anybody else. But I would personally like to see Cape get a shot if he can fucking make fights. Or fucking see what Makayev can do, honestly. I believe in him. I think that Makayev could probably out grit Pantoja if Pantoja gets tired. if there's like a heavy grappling pace in that fight. So I want to see him get a shot. Like maybe he needs another fight, maybe he doesn't, but they could just fast track him, honestly.
Yeah, the flyweights, they have some good names. Like I like watching flyweight fights. I feel like in the past I was always a bit of a hater, but they do put on great fights. The skill level is definitely there, opposed to the heavier weight classes. I just need some more knockouts. I need some more finishes at flyweight.
Yeah, I do like the Cape shout out for sure as well. Mokaev, I need to see one more fight because I feel like Perez like kind of did like was pretty competitive with him on the ground especially. So I do need it. I'd like to see Mokaev go up against like maybe Cara France. That'd be interesting.
That's a good one. All right, guys. Anything else on our main event? For sure. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching our UFC 301 preview. Like I said, we're going to keep track of our picks, see who gets the best record. But I'm pretty sure we mostly agreed on all the fights tonight. But thank you guys so much again for watching. Please check out the TikTok and shorts. Leave a comment, a like, even if it's a hate comment, man. You don't like one of our takes, argue with us in the comments. It really helps us. And once again, thank you guys for joining us.
Peace.
Peace.